This week, we embark on a really cool new journey with the Economic Development Corporation of Decatur and Macon County. The EDC announced that they have created a new community marketing manager, is what they're calling the position. I've had some behind-the-scenes knowledge as this thing has been put together, but it's really cool to put a face and a name and a body to that position. And it's my great pleasure to introduce you to Nicole Bateman, who is now effectively the new community marketing manager. How cool is this? How exciting is this? I've thought for a long time, we need a full-time salesperson for our community. How exciting is this for you?
I'm overwhelmed, really. It's super exciting. We have so much to talk about here in Decatur and Macon County, and to be chosen to have the opportunity to do that and to represent the area is really exciting.
Like I said, this conversation started a couple of years ago with Larry Altenbaumer and several people, but the whole Grow Decatur initiative, they put in countless thousands of hours, and it kept coming back to, okay, we can do this, we can do that, but if we don't have someone marketing our community, not only externally but internally, a lot of the things that we want to accomplish probably won't get done. So it's an awesome responsibility, right? I mean, I'm sure you feel walking into this job, and we have, as a community, are counting on you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's a huge responsibility. I'm definitely ready for it. I've lived here a number of years, and Decatur in Macon County as a whole is a very humble community. We don't stand up and pat ourselves on the back and say, we're awesome. So for me to be able to do that for us, for all of us, and to represent us, like you said, not only here within the community, but externally, so that we get people to come to Decatur to
and
give
even
us a
think
second
about
look.
Decatur in a different way.
Exactly.
In my time, doing this show for 20 years, we've had a lot of people move to this community, like yourself. Marry a local guy with a local family and a local business, and they fall in love with the community. And it doesn't take very long for those maybe perceptions that they had to fall away. But yet, from the outside looking in, people still have those. And if you go elsewhere and you mention Decatur, you get kind of that look, or people talk about the crime, and in fact, if you're well armed with information, it's easy to sort of go, well, okay, here's what you probably don't know. And when you break that down for people, you can break down some of those barriers. But far too often, there's not somebody out there doing that full time, and so people's perceptions remain.
Exactly. And that'll be a big part of my job, is working with our community, because we'll have this wonderful marketing initiative that we're going to embark on. And every single citizen in our city and in our county is going to play an important part in that. It's when you're out, it's not, oh, you're from Decatur, oh, you're from Macon County, oh, yeah, that's where we live. No, tell them why we're great.
They're ambassadors, right?
They're our ambassadors. Every single person is, and they are all of you will play a huge part in the success of this initiative.
Now, there's good news. I think this could be a daunting job, just perception-wise. But when you get into the grit and the details, there's a lot of good news. We had a meeting with DCC and community leaders where they showed some polling data, now versus a couple of years ago. And those numbers are on the uptick. What people think about public education, what they think about the community. It's not going backwards. It's moving up.
It is. It's definitely moving forward. And not only our perception of our own citizens here, but from the outside. And, I think we're hardest on ourselves.
Yes.
Absolutely. And so for us to be able to take a little bit of pride and build a lot of community pride, that's going to resonate. And then people will really start to notice. And if those numbers are already increasing and on the up and up, by arming our citizens with the proper information and giving them the tools to be ambassadors.
Sometimes they don't have it, Nicole.
They don't have it, sure.
It's sometimes frustrating.
They're not to blame.
Maybe some choose to just gripe and not get involved.
Well, absolutely,
and you're always going to have that segment of the population. But with social media and the ability to get out there and just spread stuff that's not true, you always are going to fight that. I mean, no matter what city you live in or who you are, there's a certain amount of that out there.
Right.
But the idea that you would be able to full-time, combat that and be a proactive approach to marketing the community rather than reacting to somebody else's perceptions. That's the difference here. I think our city of government, our government is set up the right way. We have a weak mayor, strong city council. I think that's the best way to govern. But what gets lost in that shuffle is that you don't have a full-time person that's out recruiting and marketing, and the ability to shift over to have Ryan McCready go from city manager and understand exactly what the city does to operate in each and every day, to shift over to economic development, to have have somebody like Larry Altenbaumer, to have this Midwest Inland Port and to create this new board and have the buy-ins from the companies. Right now, there's a huge snowball building of positivity and job creation and putting a square peg into a square hole. Not just coming up with a slogan and a campaign, but all these things can actually happen.
Exactly. We have such a momentum building in our area right now that if we don't capitalize on it, then nothing will change. But the great thing about all of this, I think, is that oftentimes we put projects into place and we put things into motion that will be better for our children or the grandchildren. It's years and years and years down the road. No, this is something that we will absolutely all benefit from in a few short years. If we all work together and we do this correctly, which we're going to, because I would not leave jobs that I love and I would not, be the face of Decatur and really work hard for this if I didn't fully believe in it. We're all going to change the face of the city. And we can all do it if we work together to do that by becoming ambassadors and really capitalizing on that momentum and speaking positively
and taking time to celebrate success.
Yes, absolutely.
I've often wondered, we've had so many projects and municipalities and bureaucracies just sort of, okay, that project's done, let's move on to the next
check
project.
it off the list.
You got to have some sizzle. That's what you sell in marketing. And whether you're selling hamburgers or a community, marketing people understand that. And that's why I think this is a great addition. I think you will be fantastic. I couldn't be happier that you were chosen. I really think you're going to be a great voice, a positive, youthful, all the images we want to project to get young professionals to think about living in Decatur or the greater Decatur area, to coming here and working in agribusiness. All the great things that we have to sell. This isn't kind of recreating, some invention from the ground up. We have a lot of this already in place. It's just a matter of not being redundant enough in our message and getting that message out there. Now, the first couple of weeks, I imagine you're going to be meeting, right? Because there's a lot of them. Yep. A lot of folks that are in the cog that sort of makes this community roll. What's been your general sort of sense when you've had conversations with people about their excitement level behind this?
Sure. Everybody that I've spoken to knows and understands. Well, they know the potential we have. Most understand it, and most know that we need to get the message out. Right. And so, everybody I think that is on board. They're ready. They've been ready for a number of years, and now that we have a conscious effort, a person, and a plan, an actual plan to move this forward, they're behind it 100%.
Well, once again, congratulations, Nicole, on the new position. I think it's going to be a great time for Decatur. And we're going to have part 2 of our interview with the brand new community marketing manager for the EDC in the city of Decatur with Nicole Bateman. And it's available on podcast only at nowdecatur.com.